My name is Jermaine Miller Summers, and thank you so much for tuning in to Hope of Vision Connect. Today, I have one of my partners on the phone. On the in the podcast in my studio today, and I'm so excited. So I'm a little flustered, but I am so excited because I say she's my partner because we have merged together through our publishing process to be able to help her get her book published in the marketplace. And her name is Jasmine Louis. And when I first met Jasmine, it was through a referral, someone that I have known and published her daughter's book when she was only 8 years old. And this was over 12 years ago. And so Jasmine, who also is a teenager, she really just touched my heart because she was so entrepreneurial. Her mindset, she was clear, she was focused in what it was she wanted to do, from the part of writing her stories and being able to bring them to the marketplace. And she had did a lot of the work before we had ever even started working together. So I want to hurry up and bring her into the conversation because I am excited to have her on. And she has her second book with our partnership that's coming out on the 19th of this month, November. Hold on one second. Let me bring Jasmine into the conversation so you can meet this incredible young woman that I'm so inspired by her, and I know you will be too. So, Jasmine Louis,
Hi,
how are you?
good. How are you?
I am so good. I tell you, we've been talking about coming together, bringing you on the podcast, and here we are. And I just want the world to know who you are because the way you affected me when we first met, with just your willingness to do, you were clear in your direction for what you wanted to do for yourself as a writer and being able to publish your books, not waiting on anyone. You just really took charge, and I was so impressed. So it is an honor for me to be working with you as a publisher. So let's tell our listening audience a little bit about who Jasmine Louis is.
Well, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm 16 years old. I'm currently a freshman in college, so you might see my sister move in and out of the camera. She's my roommate. So I've been writing ever since I was little. It's just something that I've always enjoyed doing. And then when I was around 9 years old, I really got into writing poetry, and so that's kind of what started off my journey with writing.
Now, you are an award winning poetry writer. So let's talk a little bit about that. And how did that even come about to become an award winner? And how old were you?
Well, it's been like a pretty cool experience. I have won like a few awards in poetry, mainly through my school. I've entered like a lot of different competitions. I think the first award I won might have been um when I was in like sixth or seventh grade. It was like a competition um that my school had entered in, and they had entered some of my poetry in there, so I had one. And that competition was something that I had entered in multiple times, so I had won it, I think, about 3 times. And then recently, I also won a regional Scholastic Arts and Writing Award, which has been pretty cool too in the poetry category.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about one thing. I want to just back up a little bit because
Mhm.
people may not have heard you clearly when you said, I'm 16 years old and I am a freshman in college. And my sister is my roommate. So what's interesting, you are a triplet.
Mhm.
So I want to just explore that journey for a second, okay? 16 years old, how did you transition to be a freshman in college at 16?
Well, the transition was a little rough at first, but I've been getting more used to it now, so it hasn't really been as bad.
Okay.
But basically, I was in 10th grade a few months ago. And I, that is kind of crazy to say,
It
but
is right.
um, my sister and I had received an email about this program at like from a college a few hours away from us. They have like an early college program where kids as young as 12 can start college and like be a real college student at such a young age. And so we applied for that and we ended up getting accepted. It was kind of hard for us to figure out, do we want to go or do we want to stay at our school now? But we did decide to go, and I'm really glad that we did because it's been a really cool experience.
Really? So how did you find just adjusting to that? You said coming from
Mhm.
10th grade, literally skipping 11th and 12th and going straight into college. That is a huge adjustment. But good thing you have each other.
Mhm.
Mhm. So how was that
Um,
experience like day one showing up?
yeah. I mean, it was, like, really scary 'cause, honestly, my sister and I, didn't really want to go just because it was such an adjustment. We've never really been away from home or anything like that. But we came and our parents helped us, set up our room, and some of our mom's friends came to help as well, so it was really nice having that community and knowing that when we go back home, we have a community there who's still cheering us on. So that was really helpful, and then when we came, everyone was just really welcoming and helped us get settled, and showed us where everything was. And it was an adjustment getting used to our classes because it's like now we have a lot more work than we're used to. So it's like still been getting used to that too.
I have to ask, because you are a writer, are you documenting this process?
Well, I've actually been keeping a journal while I've been kind of like writing a little bit about my experiences because I thought it was like a really cool thing to document. And it actually inspired like another book idea in my head that I've really been wanting to write too.
My mind first went to that when I just thought, I said, well, maybe she'll document this experience and be
hmm
able to tell those readers, because you focus a lot on children's books, right? The illustrations and everything for a child to be able to get it, but also for adults to take something away from it.
hmm
So being able to make that transition, because most people don't think, they just want to get through high school, and you're
Yeah.
talking about taking a leap as a sophomore, taking a leap into college. That is an experience on itself. So I am definitely interested in seeing a story from you about the young girl that is, or maybe the young triplets, the twins that are
hmm
going through this process together in a story, just the ups, downs, I don't know, did we make the right decision?
Yeah.
Did that thought ever cross your mind once you got there? And it was like,
uh,
okay.
yeah. I mean, it was like a lot of the time, like before we even got there, it was like, I kind of want to go, but it's like, like that school that I'd been at was really all I'd ever known because it was like a pre-K through 12th grade school. So it was just like, is going really the right decision, or should I just stay and finish high school and like have that
Wow.
experience?
Wow. How
Mhm.
long did it take for you to start feeling comfortable in this new space of yours?
I mean, I feel like really now, like I've been here since August and now it's November. I feel like really now I'm starting to get more comfortable here and know like a lot more people. So I feel like I'm getting more used to the environment, but I feel like even still, I still have to get more comfortable and more adjusted still.
How is, and I'm not going to make this all about your experience in transitioning from high school to
Yeah.
college, but how did you find the interaction with other students when you're in classrooms with them? How was
Mhm.
that experience? Because all I see is this book, you sharing this story in one of your books coming.
Well, honestly, it's been, kind of cool because it's like we're with people of different ages, mainly people in their 20s, but also um, some students who aren't that far apart in age from us.
Mhm.
So I feel like it has been kind of like a normal interaction almost because the majority of people we interact with don't really know that we are younger, but those who do, still treat us normally, but it's been pretty cool.
And because you carry yourself more mature also. So you probably just blend right in, but deep down inside, like, whoa, is this really
Yeah.
happening? Well, let's let's go to the first book that you decided well, let's tell them about how we even connected. And your first book, The Christmas Mouse, which is
Mhm,
available on Amazon. Actually, it's available Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, anywhere, pretty much online,
mhm.
Target, Walmart. And so, tell us about that whole experience when a mutual friend of your mom and mine decided to say, "Hey,
Mhm.
I know someone."
Yeah. So when I was getting ready to publish my second book, A Christmas Mouse, there was like a lot of difficulties with getting my book files up and running because I didn't really know a lot about the publishing industry. And so I basically formatted my files completely wrong. And I was really just looking for someone who could help me get my book published and get it in my hands. And so I'd reached out to one of my family members, and that's how I connected with one of your clients who said that they had published with you. So we had scheduled a call with them and, had talked to them more about your publishing company and the things that you guys offer. And that's really when we decided that, this was the right decision going with you, and that you were able to help us do it.
Like I said, I'm thankful. It's exciting, to be able to be a part of your journey. And I want to tie back into just you just decided that I want to publish and I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to figure this out.
Hmm.
And when you first started telling me the story, I am so big on entrepreneurship and those that, want to just own, their own intellectual property, but taking the steps to figure it out. And when I met you, and it was 2 years ago, and I'm
Hmm.
seeing she's 14. I mean, I don't run into adults that think like this. So when I met you and you were so focused, I was telling your mom, I was so impressed because you were clear in what it was you wanted to do. And you set out to do it and you did it. So, what made you decide that I'm going to figure this out? And see, what people don't know, because we haven't said it to them yet, you did all the illustrations. So, you literally assembled and put together the illustrations. You did everything for your first book. So when you
Hmm.
came to me, it was really helped me tweak, so I can get this published into the marketplace. But you had already set up your own distribution channels. You had did a lot of the heavy lifting. And what made you to just wake up one morning and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, all of this"?
Well, honestly, I had written this story when I was 9, and I'd rewritten it and given it to my parents as a Christmas gift. And it was really something that, like when I gave it to them, I was like, this is something I want to publish. I've always just thought of publishing as, something really cool, and I think it's super rewarding to just get to hold your book in your hands with like the illustrations and everything, and just know like you put the work into this and you made your dream come true. And so that was something that really motivated me. So I got my sister to help me make the illustrations, and we co-illustrated it. It took us over a year to do it. And honestly, I had done a lot of research online, and I'd watched like a whole bunch of YouTube videos just trying to figure out how to get my book published and what's the best way to go about doing that.
She said she was 9 when she wrote it. She was 14 when she came to me. But do you hear what she's saying in between all of that? I decided to do the research, to go online, to really
Yeah.
get the education that you needed to make it possible. So when you brought it to me, the book was already done. The
Hmm.
book was already done. And I have to just say this, your mom and your family is so supportive of what you're doing, and they believe in your gift and your vision for what you want to see happen. And that is huge to have that
Hmm.
type of support to invest in your future and what it is you believe and know that I'm going to do this. Now, I'm just like, who is Jasmine Louis going to be 10 years from now when she's doing this at 16? Do you ever think about, well, I'm quite sure you do. What do you think? How do you see yourself in, I want to say 5 years, but let's start with five. How do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, I've really been like wanting to expand and like start writing more bigger books, but also focusing more on picture books. So there's been like a lot of ideas that have been like circulating in my mind ever since I was little. And so I really want to get those ideas out there. So I mean, I'm hoping like within like the next 5 years, some of those stories will hopefully be published. And I'll hopefully have like a bit more of an audience who's, interested in reading my books as well.
Wow, you will. You absolutely will because you're already building an audience now. You're building a whole community that's championing you, that's following you, that's excited. They're waiting for the next book. So let's talk about the next book that is coming. Actually, it'll be available that people can go into Amazon and pre-sell it
Mhm.
when this is out. So let's talk about Locs Not Dreads and the whole inspiration behind that book because I talk to a lot of people and I talk to them about you and your story. So tell me the inspiration behind that.
Well, really, this book came to me, um, like a few months ago, I think around May. It was basically based off of an experience I had, when someone had called my locks dreads. And so after that experience, I really got this idea to write this story about this girl who gets locks, and then everyone keeps calling them dreads. And this was something really similar to my hair journey once I got locks. I got locks, about 3 years ago. And so that was, like a really big transition for me. And so I thought that, I wrote this story and I wrote it in about a day because I was just super excited to get it out. And I'm like, I need to publish this because I know that, it could touch someone and it can uplift someone, maybe someone who just got locks. And I think that, kids could really look at this story and it's really something that they need out there.
You know, when you first brought this title to me about helping you go through my self-publishing division, um, I was in a place, and I think I spoke to you and your mom that I've been doing the research, thinking about going
Hmm.
and getting locks, and you don't realize it's not just a hairdo. It's not, it's so much more that's involved in it. And, just the history behind it. And but how liberating and freeing it is when I talk to people and they talk about when they got their locks that they were so thankful. They don't know why it took them so long. And everybody goes through that beginning stage, you know.
Hmm.
But most people said within 2 to 3 years, it's just they just grow out, and it's so versatile what you can do with it. So I thought it was really interesting the twist you put on the book and being able to show Naomi. Naomi's the main character in the book, and going through her transition. So when everyone out there purchases their copy of Locs Not Dreads, you'll see Naomi, and she's so relatable, especially little girls that, this hair thing. I know for me,
Hmm.
hair is, it's like sometimes you just want to cut all your hair off, right?
Yeah.
But the book was so interesting because you do really correct people because there is a difference between locks and dreads. And so I'm so glad that you took Naomi on this journey to bring other little girls that's, when it comes to your hair, you take pride in your hair. Your hair, the hair makes a statement. Um, and so with Naomi, it's funny because they're going to really see her transition in this book.
Hmm.
And she gets a whole new attitude. So, if I could ask you, what would you want to leave with those that are young teenagers that's trying to just figure out what it is they want to do? You figured it out early on. You figured
Hmm.
out that you love writing, and the thing is, you also have this like I said, you have this entrepreneurial mindset that you're doing it because you love to do it, but you're creating products, you're building a business. And so I could see you having a whole library of books 5 years from now, and best-selling books, New York Times best-selling. I just see that in your future, you know, and because it's like idea comes, okay, I'm not waiting on anyone. Mom, this is what I'm thinking about. And you make it a family affair. and your family
Mhm.
they get behind you and they celebrate you, and here you are birthing something else out, another book. It's like every year, every 2 years, another book. So Jasmine Lewis is a name that you guys need to know. So I'm telling you, stay connected. So what would you leave for teenagers, young girls, young boys that have creative juices flowing, but really don't know what to do with it?
Mhm. Well, honestly, I've just been really grateful to have a support system that helps me go through my projects. But if you don't have the support system, go out and find one, or just you have to be a self motivator and motivate yourself to do some things. That's something I had to do a lot. My family, they weren't really able to help me because they aren't in publishing or like the writing fields or anything like that. So they didn't really know how to help me. So there's a lot of free resources out there. If there's something you want to do, look it up. There's so many things online that you can find. And if there is something you want to do, go out and do it. It's really rewarding. And honestly, I believe that, just do what it is that you love to do, and don't really care about what other people think about it.
Ditto to that. I totally agree. And it's not just for the young people. You have
Hmm.
inspired so many adults that may not be clear in the direction they want to take. And literally, it's just do it. Self motivate yourself. You just want more, but you're spreading these messages to empower, encourage, give hope. Um, and it's just I'm just doing it. It literally, that's your attitude. I'm
Yeah.
just going to do it. And then I'm going to celebrate me doing it. Don't forget that part. Don't forget that part. So Jasmine, tell people how they can reach you, how they can stay connected, how they can be a part of your community, your tribe.
Mhm. Well, I currently have a website in the works, but when it is done, you'll be able to find me at authorjasminelewis.com. And you can currently find me on Instagram and TikTok at authorjasminelewis.com.
Ah, Jasmine, it has been such a pleasure, and I am so thankful, like I said, that you are a part of the Hope of Vision Publishing family because, I mean, it's just the beginning. God knows where your journey will take you, but I just believe it's going to take you far because you're such a pure of heart and you're having fun while you're doing it, while you're
Mhm.
experiencing life. So experience it all. Let nothing hold you back. Be free in your thinking and clear in what it is you know and you want to do and stand firm on that. So, Jasmine, thank you. Thank you for connecting with our community at Hope of Vision Connect. We look so forward to seeing your book, Locs Not Dreads, coming. Just go to Amazon, go to Amazon right now and you'll be able to get it. I'm telling you now. So it will be available. We want to make this book a number one bestseller. We help her to get the Christmas mouse a bestseller on Amazon, but let's take this one all the way to number one. So Jasmine, I look forward to our journey ahead. No telling where we will end up, right? And so on that note, make sure you stay connected with author Jasmine Louis and stay tuned for what's coming up next on HOV Connect, Hope of Vision Connect. And you can also connect with us on podcast platforms everywhere. You can also watch us live through through our videos on YouTube at Hope of Vision Connect. And make sure you subscribe, make sure you like us, and also send your comments in. We love to hear what you have to say. And you too could be an author that share your story through our podcast platform at Hope of Vision Connect. So stay tuned and check out the new authors or other authors that we've already had conversations with. And make sure you go and purchase your copy of Locs Not Dreads. Thank you so much and have a great day.